I don't see it as a net positive that people are constantly always online. So we try to actually cut down on chat communication, like Slack communication. Recently, we decided to kind of keep it moderate.
Yeah. So how do these teams collaborate if they're, everybody's pretty distributed globally? How do you keep folks, I guess everything from, does everybody have a certain, time zone they need to kind of be online and be available and, stand-ups and all of those things? How are you all staying in sync?
Yeah, it's a never evolving quest to find the best equilibrium there. We are spread indeed in many time zones from India or coming from Japan, India, and then some Central Asia, and then Europe, East Coast, West Coast,
mm-hmm.
and in between between the two coasts. But at the same time, we've been doing it forever. We've been forever in startup time, which is like 1 year and a half, 2 years. But so we require, we kind of find the time to be online at a certain moments. Different teams do it slightly different right now, but we also have moments in which, more like the whole of the company is online. And but we are also very attentive, I would say, to balance, especially after the launch that we did. So before the launch was like every launch, there was a big crunch time in different capacities, but everybody gave like 150% there for a few weeks. But now we know that we're in for a game that is fast paced. At the same time, it needs to be sustainable. So I don't see it as a net positive that people are constantly always online. So we try to actually cut down on chat communication, like Slack communication. Recently, we decided to kind of keep it moderate and have more time to focus and so on, and have a more asynchronous way of communicating. But we are keeping the checks like daily or every other day,
sure,
depending on the rituals. Because we need to see each other. We need to kind of have the pulse. So it's a game of equilibrium. I don't believe in pendulum being this way or that other way. There's always like a fine tuning, and sometimes you fine tuning in one direction and then you realize you need to move. I think the most important thing is recognizing what's happening and patterns and reacting to those.
Yeah, and you've stuck to a style from the start. I think is an interesting approach where it's not like everybody was in an office and then you had to quickly convert to remote, right? This started pretty distributed, and imagine because of that you probably look for certain skills, when hiring, if it's a level of autonomy and where they distribute or displayed that in the past. But I guess how would you describe like an ideal skill set that translates to a successful technologist at Lightning? What are some of those traits look like?
That's interesting for sure. It's an interesting question. I would say being open-minded and being available for taking suggestions, not just from your manager, but from colleagues, with non-defensive, and at the same time trying to not be wrapped around your own initial idea, right? And but still like defend, like come to something that you believe in and kind of, be able to defend it, but also, change your mind along the way. Be kind of uncompromising on the quality that you want to deliver. Maybe you cannot deliver it all the time, but, and at the same time, find a good balance between speed of execution and how like confident you are in the solution that you found. And I would say one of the characteristics we want people to develop, even if they don't come with this characteristic, is be user obsessed or user focused. And it's not something that everybody has, or maybe some people think they have it, but they don't really have it. Some others, maybe because they come from an open source like background, or maybe because of their own background, they have it in them. So it's a skill set that becomes like a non-option that you can either develop or have it in you.